I remember one day we were out in the Bering Sea on the Alaskan Command, and we were listing too far to the left or too far to the right, which is port and starboard. And it's because some of our sump pumps, they were little pumps in the deck that, little holes cut out in the deck with the sump pumps that pumped out all the water. Because massive water was running through the lower decks where we processed the fish, to keep things clean and washed out. And what happened was we started listening, a couple pumps went out, and we were listening to the one side. Plus we had this hopper. It's a little metal, like a conveyor belt, but it's made out of steel with steel hooks on it. And there's a hatch on the side of the boat. And water was coming in on that side. We were listening too far. And we almost had to abandon ship. I don't know where we were at in the Bering Sea, if we were off towards the Prevailed or along the Aleutian Chain or St. Paul or one of those islands. But we were taking on water, and we all got in line with buckets and bailed out the water, and they brought the portable sump pumps in, and the engineers put new sump pumps in there real quick, and we were able to get the water out and then restabilize the boat finally. But we were prepared to get in our immersion suits and into our life rafts. So that was one of the another terrific experience and potential hazard. But at least they taught us how to use the lifeboats and get them, because we did do safety drills, which was good to alleviate some of our fears. But then there was another instance where it was a twin screw. It was a twin screw vessel, which means there's two engines and two propellers aft, in the stern. And one of the engines went out, and the engineers were trying to fix it. When they turned it off, and we were operating on one screw. But when they turned the other one back on, the whole boat got rocked to one side, and we were processing fish, and everybody went flying to the other side of the boat like this, and it's like, I ran right into a wall, and then I had to hold on to something. But yeah, all of us went flying. Yes, nobody got hurt, fortunately. That was a real miracle. Nobody got hurt. Nothing fell on anybody, or no frozen fish. Couple guys were down the freezer hole. I'm surprised they didn't get knocked out with one of those, 50-pound frozen fish packages. But there were some issues there too, though. There was one guy that, I think he was a drunk or something, but he was a blonde dude. And he kept saying, if you can't hack it, hang up your jacket. And he kept saying it over and over and over again. I was like, what? Who is this dude? But he was quite a character. He was kind of funny. That's why I think people tolerated him, because he had a sense of humor that was, kind of funny. But he would say some weird jokes. He was always optimistic, enthusiastic. So I think that's why his personality was tolerable. But he didn't take too well with a certain individual on boat, so these two guys got into it, and they had to get kicked off the boat. They're two different ethnicities. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but one guy was supposedly, they were both talking skunk with each other and talking dirt, and so it ended up being into a fist brawl. But I wasn't part of it. But dude was in my stateroom, actually. We slept in the same quarters, and I remember actually part of it took place in my stateroom when I was trying to sleep. But we were working 16 hours a day, 16s and 8s, which is 8 hours off, 16 hours on, 7 days a week, and we didn't everything. We had automation, machines that were automated, but a great deal of it was still manual. We had to use knives, like these chef knives that cut the heads off the fish and pull the gut, and then we had to gut them with these knives. And they had these wooden handles. They were like real thick metal, so they're kind of archaic. They were kind of barbaristic. They weren't like, fancy fillet knives. They were heavy-duty steel. and I had to cut cod for 16 hours, and my wrist, fortunately, my wrist held up. I never had a problem with my wrist. I was able to endure it. But yeah, that's what Japanese were on board with. They were observers. They basically wanted to ensure the safety and quality of their products. So they had